Namaste, people. Welcome to Maitreya podcast. We have Ashish Porte, a dear friend, a great guide, a philosopher, a mentor with me today. Namaste, Ashish. A very warm
Thank you so
welcome
much.
to Maitreya. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Talking about Ashish, he is into health and wellness. He is in yoga. He's a weight loss expert, and he's into food and nutrition. So I think a lot of ladies will be so excited to listen to you today because of the introduction, weight loss expert. So
Yes.
yeah. So beginning with your journey, Ashish, how did you start off to where you are today?
Yes. Well, I was a corporate guy.
Okay.
This journey has begun 5 years back. I
Okay.
was a typical corporate guy and in Bangalore and working in the bank, working
Mm-hmm.
in this some MNC,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a yoga just in terms of fitness.
Okay.
So I wanted to do some asana posture and to get my body a little bit flexible, thoda fit, and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But when I began in this journey, it took me somewhere else, and I got to know that it is not just about asana; it is
Mhm.
more than that.
Yes.
And it took me so long, and the journey was like still going on, and I'm still learning each and every day, and that excites me, and that's fascinate me for me. And then I completely turned towards the health and wellness, and I'm completely working on to health and wellness from last 4 years.
Wow, I think we have that thing similar. I mean, that is common because I was also into corporate and totally shifted into yoga. Maybe we reached
Yes.
that saturation point somewhere in the corporate industry. I'm not generalizing, but yeah, there is a point where you feel, yeah, you've done enough. Maybe you should move on to something more internal growth, spiritual growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm nothing wrong with the corporate people.
Mhm.
Absolutely fine. People are good. Absolutely
Mhm.
fine. But the thing is that, especially if I talk about corporate, they do not talk about your health.
True. Very
They
true.
will. Yeah. They will do not talk about the health, and
Mhm.
health is very, very important.
Correct.
If you look at it day-to-day activities, just few days back, I got a one case where the guy he had IBS issue where
Okay.
he was suffering from the disturbed his stomach.
Mhm.
So the reason was not the food. The thing was that when he was in the office and working well and absolutely fine, but when he was working with his boss, that time he get this irritable. That time
Correct.
he get this IBS issue. But when
Correct.
he's go for the vacation, when his boss is not available, he's absolutely fit and fine. So what I'm trying to say is here, it is not just about the food and other things. It is all about the relationship what you are having. So
Correct.
here the thing is very important to look at those employees who are working in the corporate, like what kind of relationship you're having with your colleague, with your boss, and that create a lot of problems in your body, whether it's in terms of your IBS issue or stress issue or
Correct.
shoulder, back pain, anything. So that's very important. It is not just about having taking a pills or tablets. No. So what I'm trying to say is that the corporate will not talk about all these things. We need to take care of the health as a priority. And since we are in 2021, and yeah, people have started taking little
Yes.
prioritize their health. So I'm so happy and glad and very happy to help them.
Very good. Rightly said that gut health, whatever you're talking about, is totally related to the emotions in our mind. So I have also
Absolutely.
experienced this, when I'm low in my mood or when I'm like a little, down, that time maybe I kind of tend to eat more. So I thought about this and I introspected myself as to why am I eating more. Then finally I realized maybe because of the mood that's directly affecting my stomach and the appetite.
True, very true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. We need to look at it that gut health is a very important, which is associated with your brain. So gut is the part of, you can say, the second brain of your body. So whatever the things happens, the emotional changes, it affect your gut completely.
Correct. Yes. Also coming to diet and nutrition, Ashish, many of us ask us as to what to do and what not to do. I mean to say, what to eat and what not to eat. The basic diversification that the clients want, the clarification, the clarity, what they want. Also, I have a second question, that is, how soon can they adapt to the new yogic food, new yogic lifestyle? So these questions are commonly asked to therapists like us. And does each and every case differ, or you have something in general?
Yeah, so here I want to tell you something about the food.
Mhm.
First of all, I'm not a big fan of that diet plan. Those who are going for the diet plan or
Mhm.
something, I'm not a big fan of that.
Mhm.
And I want to tell you that the Indian traditional food is the best food. It
Yes.
we have a different tradition. We are diversified. If you look at the north has a different food which is suits them absolutely fine. South, that suits them absolutely good and nutritious and fine. So do not lose your root, the root what you are used to have. The problem here occurs when we go for the overeating, when we go for the emotional eating, when we go for the junk food, when the market, this advertise those food which is not absolutely good for our health, and here the problem get occur. We eat emotion, we eat extra, and we do not know that how to eat our own, the food which we are having. So these are the reason. And in terms of food, we have to have, of course, like the best food, Indian food, what we used to eat when you grow up from the age of 1 to age of 12, what you had and you have grown up this much, that food is the best food for you. And do not change and go with that, something different, so-called superfood, this food, that food, and many food. There are market that are filled with this all diet plan, this plan, keto plan, or many plan. Of course, if your body is required, go ahead, go with your doctor, go with the nutrition, and take it, no problem. But here, the very important and basic things is that you need to understand what your body requires, what your body made up. For example, there are very fed diet plans such as white rice, brown rice, semi-brown rice, many things. Absolutely fine, you can have a white rice, no problem. The what kind of white rice we are having, that's very important. What rice we get from the market, which is chemically processed, and it is refined white rice, and that is not good for you, absolutely not. But if you go to back and decades of our ancestor, we what used to had the rice which was not chemically processed, that is the process by the very
Not polished
traditional way. Yes, a traditional way, and that rice is called semi-brown rice, and that is full of nutrition, which we need to consume it. So we have to go and look at our roots. That's very, very important. And second thing, which we in terms of diversification, we have the south uses coconut, somewhere the sesame oil, somewhere like the mustard oil. Go ahead, but again the food it comes the refined oil what market says, and they want to sell. So here the problem creates. Yeah. So if you generalize in terms of like specifically, if you are a diabetic patient, if you are a thyroid patient, if you are going for the lose weight because of your high blood pressure, of course you have to go for this specific diet plan and food, specific things which you have to consume, and there are some food which you have to eliminate. So these are the things which you can follow, and you can be super healthy and fit. And yes, emotional eating is very important. Do not eat with the guilt. If you are having the food, and if you are having a one samosa, and after that you said that, oh, why I have taken this samosa? Because that is that's a guilt. So do not have a guilt, do not have a resentment on the food. Eat it with love, prayers, and gratitude, and you will see that your body will change completely. And this is how you have to go ahead and take a food.
Very well said, Ashish, about food and eating. Also, when you say emotional eating, what about emotional workout? I had a client, she was emotionally so kind of charged up to lose weight, and she did intense workout for about 3 months, and then finally she kind of had to slow it down and had to really get counseled that emotional workout also is not good for the body.
True. See, we need to understand that the emotional workout, basically, extreme is not at all good. Whether it's extreme diet plan, extreme workout, extreme socializing yourself, absolutely not good. You need to understand your body, how your body made, what your body status right now. If your body feel comfortably going with the 500 or 1000 walks, 1000 steps, go with the walk, absolutely fine. If you can do a little bit 15 minutes breathing exercise, 15 minutes your yoga, asanas or meditation, absolutely fine. That brings you a lot of alignment, a lot of awareness in your body, and go ahead and have a food. See, the market is also such that, like, extreme. They say, no, I want to get this so-called the zero size or
Correct.
six pack and all
Yes.
that. So market is flooded with the advertisement. So people need to understand that, so-called what you follow is the celebrities or model or actress and all. That's completely what they show on the television or the poster or social media. Your body is completely different. I'm the common man. What I need, I have to be fit. And we need to understand the health doesn't mean that you have to be a six pack. I meet a lot of people, they have a six pack. What? They have a fear inside them. What? They have a fear of rejection, So that does not work absolutely. But inner health, the how you feel from the inside, that is very important for you, rather than just looking outside what you can actually change your body and get into the shape. Then you are in the red race. Do not do that. You're harming your body. Do not go for the extreme exercise, extreme workout. Understand your body, love your body. Your body is temple, and it will give you complete result, and you will align beautifully with your body.
Wow.
So go ahead with that, what you feel and how you feel about your body. That's very important.
Very, very well said, Ashish. Also, when you say have faith and go ahead with your alignment, listen to your body. So sometimes it's a little confusing as to, I do feel like, I need to be consistent in my workout. I need to be consistent in my practice. But somewhere down the line, maybe 1 or 2 classes, if I miss, I will be a little more demotivated, since if I don't get the result. I mean to say, if I don't reduce my weight in this particular time, how do I build that faith up in yoga and fitness, as to I need to give more time?
Yes. So the consistency is the key. You need to understand. Once the habits will you build up, there you will build up the discipline. And once discipline is there, consistency is there, and you will get the result. So sometimes, of course, it's absolutely fine having weekends, spending time with your family, friends, going for the party or vacation, absolutely fine. Once it is done, get back to your track and go ahead and start with that from the beginning, or how you feel, and then go ahead. So, but do not completely cut off from that, and take a more gap between your workout schedule or your your rituals, whatever you're doing. Go ahead and back to the track. If you talk about the fat, actually, yes, I mean, we are a human, of course, we need that, because we are social people, we have to be socialized. Once you are done with that, you go back on the track and everything will be fine. There is nothing worry such things. Yes.
Coming back to weight loss, what are the important do's and don'ts for a weight loss, the person who's looking to reduce weight?
Sleep is the most important part.
Okay.
So if I talk about and say sleep, so people think, oh, how if I go to sleep, then how and I lose weight. So basically, your body lose weight when we go to the proper rest. Go to the proper sleep. You do not lose weight when you go to the gym or you go for the fat diet plan. No, when your body go for the proper deep rest, then your fat get break down. So that's the very important time, and you give prioritize. It's a sacred ritual. I request to everyone, those who are really taking care of their health, primarily. Sleep is not just about your reducing weight. Sleep also helps you to heal your body. Sleep help you to boost up your immunity. Sleep help you to glow your skin, your hair, everything. Now the problem is here, people do not get proper sleep. They have a sleep deprivation over there. Either they go have a heavy food before they go to bed, or they go for the social media or any gadgets. So they cannot go for the proper sleep, and there the problem get occur. So sleep is the most important part. Take a proper rest. It doesn't mean whether you are going for the 12 to 13 hours. There are people who sleep for the 13, 14 hours, but they wake up very tired. But there are people for the 5 to 6 hours, but they had a very quality sleep. So yes, sleep is the most important, and then look at your regime, what you do entire day, what time you are having. So I would always suggest people to, whenever they want to go for that, follow your circadian rhythm, the rhythm which very important. Like for example, the breathing has a rhythm. If you disturb in between, you will get distracted. You can't breathe properly. The music has a rhythm.
Correct.
The river has a rhythm. Water has a rhythm. So go with it. Do not play with the rhythm. The body need that. 8 or 9 o'clock, if you go and have a heavy meal, how it will work? You tell me. Like your body entire night. The night it doesn't work for the digestion. Night is for the rest, not for the digestion. So people what generally do, they go for the heavy, either it's a binge drinking or either they go for the heavy food, and then entire night their body is going for the all digestion which is not made for that, and that create a lot of problem, and that they get the excess fat over there. So sleep, of course, look at the sleep. Whenever you go on the sleep, make sure the 40 to 45 minutes before on bed you switch off or take off or take away all the gadgets which you are using, whether it's mobile, tablet, laptop, anything. Make sure when you had a food 3 hours, 3.5 hours before you before you go to bed, you had a food. And I always say that to have a dinner, whether with the sunset or after sunset, and 1 hour, absolutely fine. And we need to follow the few things. Of course, the food what you are eating, like go with the traditional Indian food which suits your body, which is made for your body. It doesn't mean that whether you're vegetarian or non-vegetarian, absolutely fine what you are having, but make sure you're not having excess sugar, excess simple carbohydrate, excess the bad fat, which does not good for your body. So follow all these things, follow your circadian rhythm, follow your regime, and must be there is 12 hours of gap between one food, especially at night, and you can see that the changes in your body. And of course, the very important part is that your physical movement in the form of whether you're doing yoga, jogging, running, exercise, anything at what suits you. So these are the things which you have to apply. And yes, the sleep is the most important part here.
Okay. Well, Ashish, they say when you eat rice, you put on weight, and it's not recommended for people who are going for this weight loss regime. Is it true?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't get you. What?
When they say a couple of them believe that, and there is also a myth that eating rice, you will put on more weight.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true?
Absolutely no. Rice is the fantastic food. Our ancestor eating from the decades and decades, and absolutely the way we eat, that's the problem.
Okay.
The thing what we get the rice, which is the problem. We have a very good rice. There is no such things called white rice, brown rice, this rice, that rice, lot of things. Now the new research is coming up, and they are saying that if you having a brown rice, because there are so things in last few years, brown rice is good, brown rice is good. Everywhere you are getting
Correct,
brown rice. Yes, now the research is saying that brown rice has this problem where it doesn't absorb your nutrition. Now people are moving to semi-brown rice. Now if I talk about semi-brown rice, our ancestor eating from the long back, the same thing. They have not changed.
Yes.
That's why I said in the beginning, you follow the route. Whatever your body made up, do not change the rhythm. What we do. There are fancy things, superfood, this food, that food, many things. It will come up. But go with the route, and you will see that nothing will be happen. Now people are moving to semi-brown rice and see the result.
True.
They are getting that.
Yes. What about yogic lifestyle? Well, when I started yoga, it was so important for me to get up early in the morning, wake up early in the morning, do a little bit of practice, and then go to my classes. You know how it is in our university. I mean, they have a set routine for every one of us. That actually makes a difference. So people who are really, in the yogic path, how important it is to follow this routine, or is it okay to follow their body's direction, to follow their mind's direction, rather than putting yourself in a space where you're not in your comfort zone?
Well, I would suggest you when you wake up, do not rush yourself do not throw yourself for the day to the people. When you wake up early in the morning, give your time a little bit, like have a prayer, write something in the form of affirmation, gratitude, do breathing exercise, 15 minutes pranayam. that will help you to spend your time. First of all, when you wake up early in the morning, go and pass your stool. That's very important, because if you have a gut issue, gut problem, then you cannot have a proper day. So your motion, it creates emotion, so you have to pass your motion properly. That's very, very important, and that determines that what kind of food you had. So that's why food is very important, and when you had. So that's very important. So yeah, spend some time with that meditation, breathing exercise, do your yoga, asana, gratitude and prayer. Then you start your day, and you will see that day will be beautiful. And everyone, like, we have a good day, bad day, many things. You need to face it, and how it will be like that, and you have to deal with that. So it will help you to be more aware. It is just rather going and waking up and throwing yourself in a day and people, rather than just spend some time for your own time. That would be good. And the same practice could be done at the night before you go to sleep, and have a prayer, gratitude, and then go and end up your day. So you will see that how your body and health will get changed completely.
Yes. For practitioners of yoga and yoga therapists or yoga instructors for that matter, practice is very important. Our self-practice is very important, right? So also they say that, if you practice a lot of yoga, yes, you'll be getting the flexibility, but what about your core strength? So some people also go to the gym to get the core strength and do yoga for flexibilities. What do you do?
Well, I practice yoga. I don't do any other things. Yeah. So yoga has all the things. If you do proper practice of yoga, you can get your proper strength of your core. You will have all the stamina, everything. So yoga has all things to give you. I don't look at any other alternate. I'm absolutely fine with the yoga asanas.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'm not doing any gym or any fitness training like that, but some people have this myth. Those who are in yoga also, yes, you'll be getting the flexibility, but the core strengths, you need to work out more.
Yes, I want to tell you here that yoga is not just about flexibility. Of course, there is more than that. You need to explore, do it, and there are some postures, asana, which is so beautifully, where you lift your body weight. You don't require extra weight, and when you could able to lift your body, and balance yourself, you can see the changes in your body. So this is how it works.
Yeah.
So yoga is so beautiful. Things which we have got from our ancestors and which are sages.
Yes, 100%. Also for people who are starting new, many of them come to me and they've asked me, which kind of yoga should I do, ma'am? Is it Iyengar yoga? Is it power yoga? Is it Patanjali yoga? Is it Hatha yoga? What kind of yoga does it is beneficial to me? So
yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's the question.
So that is, again, it's labeling on yoga. Yoga is basically what you do, to align yourself. Yoga itself, integration, and what we do, which is we do practice of asanas. So what suits your body, you go ahead with the basic and practice it. There are, of course, the masters and teachers they had, but they have never labeled themselves. Like, for example, Iyengar, B.K. Iyengar has never said that this is Iyengar yoga. That is his way of teaching.
Yes.
So see that what suits you, your body fits you. You can start with the basic, and you can go and grow in that way. So see that very basic yoga is absolutely fine with this. And moreover, I want to tell you that there are, if you do proper 10 to 15 asana itself, your body will get changed. The focus is not about to gaining more and more asanas and doing a lot of things. If you look at the transformation, the main reason is transformation. You get transformed from your inside. So that can happen only through 10 to 15 asana. That's it. That is absolutely fine.
Rightly said. Also, I've seen you talk a lot about balance in life. So also there are a lot of books and a lot of lectures on the balance in life. Balance your emotion, balance your demands, balance your needs, balance yourself, balance your breathing. There's a lot of concepts that has been explained using the balance. What is your version of balancing life means?
see, again, we need to understand that balance is like extreme is not at all good. Whether you are in extreme anything, whether it's a diet plan, extreme exercise, extreme socialize yourself, absolutely not good for you. You know, we need to understand that how human body made up. There is when it comes about the balance, the life is all about you give a space yourself, you know, and when you bring into balance, then you can see the equilibrium in your life. Even the Buddha also talked the same thing. He went for the fasting and he realized that okay, he cannot go for the more, because if he'll not have a food, then you know it could be a problem for him. So he talked about the balance, which we say Sanskrit santulana, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to bring the balance in our life. That's very important. And I am not a big fan of extreme anything, whether it's in the form of anything like.
Yes, rightly said. I mean, that whole this aspect of being neutral, having a balance, not going to the extremes, is so important in everyone's lives.
Yes. So what happened? People go for the extreme, and then the trap it happens. Whether it's you're scrolling your mobile and you're doing all this social media stuff, going for your diet plan. I see a lot of people, they go spend for 4 to 5 hours in the gym because this workout, that workout, they do yoga, they do Pilates, they do heavy lifting and this, that. In the end of the day, they are same. Why this happened? Because they are not looking at their body. Their body is saying something else and they are doing something else. You require only 60 minutes to work out your body. And if you go for the more, so basically what you're doing, you are activating your Surya Nadi. Surya Nadi is basically create a lot of heat, and once the Surya Nadi activate, you are creating a lot of stomach issue, which is constipation, your gut health, and many other problems. In fact, you will decreasing your immunity as well. So do not go for the over, whether it's in the form of asana itself. If you're doing over and over and over only asana part, then you're activating your Surya Nadi, and that is not bringing you in balance in your life, in your body. So we need to look at that how you have to bring your Chandra Nadi as well, which is go for the rest and digest, which is we say sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Yes, so then your rest and digestion has to be a proper, not like to go and very active and active. So that create a problem for you.
Ashish, most of us who are into yoga have this question. Should we do pranayama and then asana practice, or asana practice and then pranayama? What do you do?
Well, again, it is like always recommended in that ancient book texture that you can practice after asanas. It helps you when what happens when you do after asanas, your body opens up. Once the body opens up, the prana, which is channelized properly. So what you do when you do before breathing exercise, body has not opened up properly. So that prana, because prana is the energy, that's a vital force, and that has to reach each and every mitochondria. I'm not talking about the cell. It's the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes.
So there the energy generates, so that reaches each and every part. So once you do your asana, you go ahead with your breathing exercise and calm down yourself, and you will see that benefit out of it. That's wonderful practice.
We all know that last year has been very challenging for every one of us because of Corona. And specific pranayama practice and breathing practices have been given by the Ministry of Ayush, by different yoga centers, by different yogic teachers as well. So how challenging was it for you as a teacher, to bring that confidence up and also to get them to practice a little bit of pranayama and breathing techniques?
Yes, like I should say COVID, whether should I thank you COVID or what, I don't know, because of the COVID, people actually realize the value of their health, their value of their body. Those who are taken granted, they went for the toss, because I see a lot of people, they had the smokers, and they had binge drinking and other junk food eater, outside eater, this eater, that, because when this COVID entered, then they realized the immunity is the key. If somebody talking about like I have a 6-pack, 2-packs, 3-packs whatsoever, it doesn't work. What is required? The immunity is required, and the immunity is the key. How the immunity will bring, and there is the yoga plays a very, very important role, because yoga is the only one way where you can increase your immunity. Now I met a lot of people at that time, they went for the COVID, and yes, the breathing exercise helps them to bring up their immunity up, and this asana, little bit breathing exercise, few asana posture. Your bhujanga asana, it helps you beautifully to increase your immunity. Your dhanurasana helps you. Your trikona asana, Paschimottanasana, very simple posture which you can practice, and breathing exercise you can do, like your Chandranadi and Surya Nadi, Anulom Vilom, you can do Nadi Shodhana, you can do Bhramri. These are the things absolutely work fantastic. And apart from that, if you go for the little food which is plant based, you are somewhere else. And again, the problem creates here, the like how you are going with that. If you are still having something holding in your mind, in which is very long back, which doesn't have any relationship with the present, then you are creating a problem. So a lot of problems doesn't have the immunity issue with their body. What they have a problem, that is called something which they are holding back of their mind, which is maybe 2 years or 3 years, 5 years back something. So people need to understand increasing immunity is not just about having a good food, superfood, this food, that food, and that too very expensive. If you go for the very superfood, what you can do in for your increasing your immunity, whatever holding you in your mind, first let it go, that something is bothering you, and getting you accept it, and face it, the reality, because the reality is there. You need to take care of your health. Just 2 days back, I met one lady. She's 24-year-old, and she had same issue, like she's suffering from her hormonal imbalance. But the problem is that instead of going for the superfood, we need to take care of that, how we can really bring awareness and bring very balance and our own hormone. It's a game of hormone. If you talk about in yoga will not give you the 6-pack, 2-packs, this pack, that pack. It will bring you your hormone. It will balance your hormone, and once your hormone get balanced, you will see your life will get balanced. So this is how you have to go ahead, and practice of yoga is very good. It will help you a lot, and it will gain a lot of immunity of you. So that's the beautiful things about it. And yeah, you can follow it, all the breathing exercise, and absolutely fine.
Yes, very well said, Ashish. Coming back to your story, who was your inspiration, and how did you decide, yes, yoga is the way, or yoga is the change what I'm looking for?
Yeah, yoga, like 5 years back, 2015, when I came into the yoga, my journey has started when I was in Ashvyasa. That was the first course which I did it, which is YSC for 1 month, and 2015, and it was fantastic time. Before that, I didn't had any yoga experience. I did my inner engineering from the Sadhguru Isha Foundation, and the yoga. Then it was like a very journey from very beginning. I had a plan. I had in mindset like yoga is all about asana, because I have seen all these things on the Instagram and other stuff. Doing all the postures, asanas, and absolutely fine. Nothing wrong. It's good. But yoga is not all about the asana, which is more than that, which I have learned in a couple of this year. And I look at the people who's very deeply rooted and practicing not only yoga but in terms of service, because I look at yoga in terms of service for myself, and that what I can help somebody, those who can get benefit out of it. So yeah, my inspiration are those who are dedicated their life in terms of service, in terms of health, because I belongs to the health and wellness community. So I look at them and I learn from them. So yes, I am very happy and fortunate that I took a yoga and helping others so that I can bring some change in their life with my knowledge. So I can add values and impact in others' life with my knowledge.
So very well said. Ashish, I see you as a person who's simple, who's humble, ground to earth, very approachable, and very knowledgeable. So, really happy that people like you are still here to help people like us, to guide, to kind of look upon to, and also to kind of clarify whatever doubts we have and related to health and wellness. So I'm very happy for that. Also, how do you kind of be so simple and kind of be so impactful when you talk? Because whatever you're talking makes so much sense, and also with a lot of experience. So how do you manage to do that?
I don't manage that. Like what I have learned, and first of all, I feel myself. I'm very fortunate that I'm born in this land. And there are a lot of the land which known for the wisdom. And if I was looking something else, and which I can get it my from own land. So own wisdom. So I started looking and started reading those things which our sages, our ancestors, and they have written beautifully in terms of its Vedas, Vedantas, Ayurvedas, or those literatures in terms of Bhagavad Gita. It's beautiful. Then it can change your life. If you take it one line of Bhagavad Gita and apply it whether your own personal life, your business, or your relationship, you will see the impact if you can apply those things. So I'm so grateful that it is very easily available for me because I live here. Because I have seen a lot of people who across the world, overseas people come all the way from there and here and they learn. So I'm so blessed and so proud also. I don't have that ego or something that this is my thing. No, this is for everyone. Those who want to get, and I'm so proud that this knowledge we have, we should utilize. It's a beautiful knowledge we have. Whether I talk about Ayurveda, which has talked about completely about health, that how you can bring equilibrium in your life, how your Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha you can balance as per your body and everything. So yeah, I'm so thankful and grateful that I'm born here and I'm studying all those literature and those textbook, which is very, very helpful for our human life. So this is what feel that the gratitude is very, very important things when you have a gratitude, that it brings a lot of things, because it opens up the your body completely, because what you want in your life that you can get when you have a gratitude.
Yes. Also, I know that you are on a mission to help 1 lakh people to live happier and healthier. Can you tell us more about your mission?
Yeah, so this is what my mission, that where I want to reach more people and I can reach them so that I can help them to live healthier and happier life. So I'm running this workshop called belly fat burning system, because where I see the people who has a lot of problem with the belly fat. So when I meet people, when I consult people, they talk about, oh, I have extra belly, this belly, that belly. So I tell them that love your belly. So they said how I can love my belly, because the thing is that when you start loving yourself, then only you could able to reduce your belly. So yeah, this is how I start them, and then I tell them that love your belly, and the moment you love, and then you will accept that yes, you have excess fat, then we can work accordingly. I go with this 5 days workshop where I talk about like what are the food you can eat. If you have a sugar craving, if you have a junk food or something, you can eliminate for a day, and you will see that how your body changes. So it's a beautiful 5 days program where people get results, and people have lost like 2 kgs and 3 kgs. But it is not just about 5 days you completely transform your body, nothing, but actually you are bringing alignment with your body. Whatever the excess water retention you have in your body in the form of sodium, it goes off. Whatever the excess fat you have, and your body becomes a little flexible in terms of, because we go for the intermittent fasting and some food which is based on the plants and vegetables, that helps. So I reach more of the people, and this is what I'm doing. And I have I'm so fortunate that I'm this field that I really want to reach more number of people so that I can impact their life.
Wow, so such a great message. All the very best to you, Ashish. Also, one last question. It's a very basic but a profound question. What is the difference between a yoga and a yoga therapy session?
Well, if I talk about therapeutic session, first of all, what the asana we practice every day, that itself a therapeutic. We are not doing in the form. And I want to give you a very clear message to everyone. Those, if you're thinking that when you do yoga, you're doing exercise, please stop doing that. Yoga is not an exercise. It's a very holistic, therapeutic approach to your body. Either you can do in different way, and that is different thing. That's absolutely fine. But when you go to Paschimottanasana, you don't increase your muscles. When you go to Paschimottanasana, you engage all your abdominal organs. when you go for the Matsyendrasana, when you go for the twisting posture, your liver is getting squeezed, your kidney is getting squeezed, it is completely detoxifying. So we need to understand this. Yoga is completely therapeutic. It brings very awareness and a lot of good results in your body. So when we talk about the yoga practice in general, for the general health, absolutely fine. You can go ahead with your advanced practice, or you can say, I don't resonate also this intermediate, advanced, and the beginner also. I always say yoga is a yoga because we are labeled these things. Yoga for everybody. For maybe I can go for this much, that's fine. For somebody it is half of the way, but that is absolutely fine for them, because in the same way they can also get the result what I'm getting the result. So the main focus is here to transformation, to get to transform your life. That is the very important part. So when we go for the yoga therapy, of course we look at the problems where what is happening, and accordingly we go for the therapy, and then they get the result, and they can bring the good health in their life, and they can go and practice whatever kind of yoga and asana they want in their life.
Yes, it's very, very well said. I've seen you, you're a very calm and composed person. Also practicing yoga, I have also become a person who can manage my anger. So are there any simple techniques for yoga practitioners and also for common man to reduce and manage anger?
When your breathing is slow, we don't angry yourself. What exactly makes you angry? Which things is not happening according to you? There are no other things will be happen according to you. Everything happen according to them. So you cannot change outside, you can change inside. So what you can do, you can look at yourself and accept it, that is not going to be changed. And if you anger, if you frustrated, if you're becoming something like that, you are creating problem for yourself, not for others. So it is like Buddha says beautifully that one day the one person has come and he wanted to give him to abuse him. He didn't accept. I mean, he didn't reacted him. That man said that why you are not reacting, because you don't because I'm saying a lot of bad words to you. And he said, what if I tell you, if somebody give you bring you gift for you, and that if you will not accept it, that gift belongs to whom? So that person said, yeah, of course, to me. The same way, if you're not get that thing in your life, maybe the reaction from the outside, so it doesn't belongs to you. So what I'm trying to say is here, there are some anger which comes and triggers from the inside, which we need to understand that why frustration comes. Because when we see the things is not happening according to us, and we get anger because we want everything to be proper.
Yes.
Our house should be proper. Our when I go for on the road, then there should not be a traffic. Everything should be proper. Which is not possible at all. Everything according to the things which you have to live with the reality. Accept the reality, face it, and go ahead. And if you are getting anger or something, you are creating problem for yourself. Go with the slow breathing, some deep breathing exercise that might help you. But moreover, that understanding is more help you rather than doing for some breathing or other stuff. This is what it is all about. Changing your perception, changing your eyes. You can help and look at it in a different way, and you can become. You can change yourself. So this is the beautiful things which happens with ourselves. How the introspection, how we look at ourselves. If I'm looking at something, somebody is doing something which is not happening according to me, I can look at, okay, fine, that's the problem. And here, if you could able to change yourself, you are gaining the mastery over your senses, that you're not reacting on that. Reacting is not something that you become a hero, or you want to win the argument, or something you want to do something, okay, right for this and that. There are some situation where you should not react. Actually, you should look at it some way, because when you react, the two energies, different energy, because ego creates this problem. So we need to understand that how and when to react. And I don't think so we need to react each and every places. When you become calm, composed, and when you accept it, you can see the things pass on like this, and everything heals. The time is the best healer in this world, and don't stick with that situation, people, events, and many things. People, what they do, they stick with the thought, they stick with that events, they stick with that because they have not understand themselves. So this is what it happens with them. Once you introspect yourself and align yourself, and things will be. It's a very simple thing, but people have made very complicated. So anger is also from the inside, not from the outside. So we need to look inside us.
It's very rightly said, Ashish. What is your mantra for living? Living happier.
What is my mantra?
For living, for a happier living.
Being simple, to become a minimalist, to become a very simple, not complicated. The things people say complicated, that's not right way. The complicated things is not the system. Even your whatever is people say complicated, it is not like. It's a very simple things which you have to work out and make it out. And I more believe to preserve your energy in terms of the people, place, and extra whenever you are spending. If you able to preserve your energy, if you able to retain your energy, then I think you can bring a lot of things in your life, and you can look at yourself that what exactly you are doing in your life. So energy is very important part. Like for me, of course, I don't just invest my energy anywhere. So
Wow.
I'm very careful, and I see that where to invest, and it should be value for that.
All right. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Ashish. There's so much
Thank you so
of insight that you got in to Maitreya today. I'm very happy and I'm extremely honored that you're here on my show. And I wish you all the very best for whatever good work you're doing. Thank you so much for coming, Ashish.
Thank you so much, and I want to tell you that you are doing fantastic job.
Oh,
and
thank you.
This is the best thing where you are meeting different kind of people, and getting and bringing them in the platform where people can talk about their life and it get benefit to others also. I follow your videos and see a couple of your podcasts. You have done fantastic job, and
Thank
still you're doing. I'm so happy that you have invited me here, and I can share something, my things, and we can talk about which actually help people. So I'm so happy and grateful that the job what you are doing, and I'm giving you a lot of best wishes, and keep doing and keep inspiring others, and keep doing the same thing.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ashish. Thank you.